Hey guys, you've probably clicked on this video because the last surf session that you had was very disappointing. You had a doomer of a surf session, and yeah, just had a really crap sesh. You didn't get the right waves, or you kept falling off, or maybe someone kept dropping in on you, or you just feel frustrated because you couldn't do what you wanted to do. This video, we're going to go over the things that are causing that to happen and how to stop them. And yeah, we're going to give you some amazing tips that are just super simple, really easy to action. And just next time you go for a surf, I guarantee you're not going to have a bad surf session. So the first thing is you weren't sitting in the right spot. Now, surfers have different surf positions when they surf. Point break, obviously, there's a couple of different spots to sit, depending on tide and swell direction. Beach breaks, that's the same thing. Perfect reef breaks, the same thing. There's different. You sit wider, sit lower, sit deeper, sit further out, sit further in on different tides and different swell directions. So before you go surfing, don't just quickly peek yourself over the top of the sand dunes and go, "Oh, it's pumping." And then you run back to the car, put your wetsuit on, wax your board. You might even be one of those guys that don't even wax their boards, and you're just super excited to get out there and you just run up the beach. You go straight out, paddle straight out. You don't even really check the waves. You give it a 5 second look. You saw the groomed offshore conditions and a few lines, and you said, "Let's go." Well, that's probably the reason why you had a bad surfing session. And so, what I want to go over is you need to check it. You need to check that. Okay, every 5 minutes there's a wave breaking on that peak. Every 10 minutes, this peak breaks, and when that peak breaks, it breaks over here, and then when this one breaks, it breaks out over there. So there's usually a rhythm and a pattern to how the waves break, and there's usually a few different peaks. And if you're not having good session, you're just not getting the right waves. You're not sitting on the peak. You might be sitting too wide. You're going to sit on the peak where the wave breaks every single time. Um, and you might get frustrated because other guys, you feel like they're snaking you. It's not because they're snaking you, it's because you're just not sitting on the peak. You got to wait in line where the peak is. You can't just sit wide and expect people just to sit next to you and let you get the next wave. No, not in this generation. This generation, people just keep paddling past you. And it's not considered snaking because you're not sitting on the peak. If you're sitting on the peak and you've waited your turn, you're sitting right on the takeoff spot, and then some young guy paddles underneath you, that's snaking. However, if you're sitting a little bit wide, you don't have to sit wide at all. You can sit a little bit wide, and someone goes past you. It's not snaking because, mate, like unless if they've let a bit of a wave go through for you and you didn't catch it, it's not snaking. Um, so the next thing, you had poor wave selection. So when you were out there, you saw the first thing that came up and you caught that wave. Well, I'm sorry to say that's going to cause you to be out of rhythm with the sets, and you're going to paddle back out. And guess what? You're in rhythm for that other crappy wave again. So when you first paddle out, what I want you to do is wait for the set waves, wait for the wave that you know from when you did your surf analysis before, when you sat on the beach and you watched the waves and when they're peaking up. You catch that wave, you paddle back out, you'll be in rhythm for that wave again, especially if you sit in the right spot. Next thing, you were rushing your waves and you were rushing your turns and airs. So you're too eager to race down the line and do an air, or you're too eager to get started doing turns and turn and rip the wave apart. So what I want to say is the slow is fast and fast is slow. If you're sort of taking off on the wave and you're rushing things and it feels like you're too eager to get to the section, well, that's usually a reason why you had a shitty surf session. Um, Essentially, you see it slow is fast, fast is slow, is a racing car terminology. And it sort of talks about, as you probably know with car racing, you need to brake before you get to the corner, then you hit the apex and accelerate out of the corner, right? Well, that concept means make sure you slow down before the corner comes up. You need to start braking, take your time, and go through the corner. If you rush it and you try to enter the corner with too much speed, you're going to skid a little bit, you're going to go wide, lose control, and then you'll be on the gas too late and you lose a lot of time. Same with surfing. You need to wait for the wave to tell you what it wants to do. It's like a dance. You got to dance with your partner. You don't force your partner what to do unless you're, just a bad dancer. But take off on the wave, even if it's a 2 foot sloppy, wind blown nor'easter. Take off on the wave, see what it's going to give you. What's the section? How fast are you going? What's going to happen on the wave in the next few seconds? And adjust. Don't take off and do whatever you want to do. Your surfboard's not a ripstick. My best advice is surf the wave, don't surf the board. And when you take off, if it hasn't really formed up much yet, do a high line. do a check turn back, then see what it is, and then go, okay, it's standing up. Okay, I'm going to do my bottom turn, go up, do my top turn. What's happening next? Okay, it's fattening out a bit. Do my bottom turn, go out wide, do a roundhouse cutback, go back to the whitewash. Okay, what's happening is, okay, an end section's forming up. Okay, now I can race down the line and hit the section. Instead of racing and trying to do it all before it's ready, you need to let the wave provide you the speed, let the wave provide you the sections. Don't just try to manufacture it yourself. Surf the wave, don't surf the board. The other thing was your expectations were too high. You went out the back and it was 2 foot slop, and you just thought, okay, well, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna try to do an air reverse. Well, it's probably not the best thing to go out there and expect yourself to do. Look, it's definitely possible, but is it likely? It's probably likely, depending on how experienced you are with airs. But if you're not that experienced, don't expect it of yourself. And then if it's a 2 foot closeout, then go with it. Okay, my goal is to do one maneuver, one turn, one snap, one floater. Then when you actually get out there and you do that, you might even get a little corner and you might find a little runner and you do a couple little slashes. That's going to feel so good because you go, oh, I wasn't expecting that to happen today. But if you go out there, oh, my goal is to get a wave and do 4 turns, then when you go in, you're going to go, oh, that was crap. Even though you still found a wave and did 2 turns, or you did a one big turn on the closeout. But because you didn't do those 4 turns you're expecting to do, then you had a crap surf session. You actually had a good session. Your just expectations were too high. Your mindset's negative. You got to have a positive mindset. Set yourself up for success. So the next thing is also, and this is a bit more broad term and a broad topic, but you probably didn't have enough sleep. Now it seems stupid, and no, I'm not a doctor, but I do know that one of the first things that your body lets go of and stops putting energy into is balance. When you haven't slept, your balance and coordination and your hand-eye coordination is off. It's the first thing. You start tripping over. You might even be drunk from the night before, and that's why you had a bad session. You can't surf drunk. Surfing requires way too much coordination and balance to surf drunk. If you did surf drunk, you must have been on some other stuff like Zaza, and you would have had a lot of fun or something, because it all felt like amazing. But if you watch some footage of you surf, you'll realize, oh, I actually surf pretty crap, but it just felt like you surf good. When you don't have enough sleep, surfing is really, really hard to do. And I won't lie, if you surf without sleep, I've never had a good session without sleep. Went on some surf camps when I used to be a surfer in South Australia, and people would joke it was a surf camp, so we had dormitories and we stayed in dormitories, and we're all like teenagers. And I didn't get any sleep there because everyone just kept joking around and telling stories and laughing, and there was no adults in the room. It was just us teenagers. So we were just, no one was going to get us to go to sleep. And I'd hear the older boys talk about their party stories, and I was too young to sort of go to parties. And then I remember the next day, I had no sleep. We just stayed up all night. I think I got like 2 hours of sleep. We paddled out there, and yeah, I didn't land one maneuver. Couldn't do anything. I just couldn't get on the right waves. It was tough. I just had no balance. It was just ridiculous. And so, yeah, I'd really suggest get a good night's sleep. Get your 8 hours. You know, getting up really early and going for 4 a.m. surf session, that's fine as long as it's like a once off. But if you've been out on a bender and you've stayed up all night long, it's not gonna happen, bud. It's not gonna happen. You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. So yeah, unless you smash a Red Bull or something to really help your nervous system. But yeah, that's the video. Those are the tips. So I'll put them in the description as well, so you can put them into your notebook. The other thing is we go into even more detail in our Surf Precision Academy, our online platform, which is an academy for surfers that are intermediate that are wanting to become advanced surfers. We take you through, how to do power surfing, how to generate speed, how to do laybacks, how to do airs. And we have our coaches, we have a team of coaches, and basically what you can do is watch the courses. They're pretty detailed and really good. And then you can just hit up the coaches if you get stuck. Any coaches on tap anytime. And that's pretty amazing for what, $30 a month or something. You get access to a coach anytime you want. Plus, you can send through your clips to us as well, and we'll review it for you. Because we just want to help you surf better. I mean, we really do think that the average surfer at the moment uh, isn't surfing at a level that I think that we should be. I think compared to other sports, the average kid that can play basketball, they can do like slam dunks and stuff. The surfing, like you'd be lucky to find a guy at a beach break now that can do a cutback and a snap properly, let alone doing airs. And I think these pro surfers, they've been doing airs. Chip Wilson's been doing airs for like 20 years. They've been doing air reverses for 20, 30 years now. They were doing them in the 2000s. And so I just think like that we can get you guys and the average surfer to that level where you pop in airs. I just think that surfing needs to be elevated to a higher level, and we've provided a pretty affordable platform to do that, to get you guys to a high level. And we skip the fluff, we skip the stuff other coaches teach you. You don't need to know. We just give you the stuff that we know works, and I know works when I do an air reverse, and I know that these are the things that help me land air reverses more often. Then I give you those tips and I make sure that I know everything else. So when you send video into us or me and I look at it and I go, okay, he's falling off backwards like this. Okay, he needs to do this, this, and this. Try these three things. If they don't work, let me know. It's probably because of this. So if you want to just accelerate your surfing to new heights at sort of extremely fast speeds and easier, it's the easiest way. Join the academy. It's super easy to get better and cheaper too. You're not going to spend all this money on coaches and going on surf camp days and surf trips and things like that. Just learn to do a cutback a little bit better. No, we're going to get you surfing really good, and that's what we do here. But anyway, subscribe for more videos and like this video if you think it might help you. And also send us a comment and explain your last surf session. Was it good? Tell us if it was a good surf sesh. If it wasn't a good surf sesh, explain why. What happened? We want to know.